the overall CPU usage? See, like, Unix is only using 18%.
Number 59, Mike Ferreira, with Mina and George Ferreira and George. Number 60, Jeffrey Parisi, with Michelle and Carl Parisi. Number 70, James Reed, with Michelle and Jim Reed. And number 76, Captain John Olin, with Lindsay and John Olin, with Trisha and Lola. It's not.
So, players of the game is Grayson Pasquina, correct, number 13. And then the opposite, number 13, Matthew Patman, wide receiver linebacker. There's a little like thing on the line. It's just basically, Pasquina, like quarterback, captain, team leader this year. And yeah, just a little something about like Providence Journal.
Did you see an email from YouTube yet?
But
That's very gentlemanly.
no, I haven't. When I looked like last night before I went to bed, it still said under review. So this was like a different.
And now for the Philippine senior
This is like a
cheerleaders,
different situation. Like I had to do a whole like
Madison D'Souza, with Lynn and Sam D'Souza.
get this wrong.
Hannah Albrecht, with Tina and Paul Albrecht. Gabrielle Callion, with Paul and John Callion.
No, white hat.
Lydia Atwater, with Dora Atwater.
Yeah, I was able to change the logo.
Yeah.
I was able to change the logo and to change the powered by.
I mean, it'd be nice if we could merge.
Yeah, I don't like.
Brianna Wisniewski,
Like that little, like,
Doesn't matter.
but I was able to change it to where it says like.
No, because we still have Rhode Island. This means we still have Rhode Island.
and Assistant Giles, with Mila Baptiste.
Just leave it.
But I was able to change the logo to the new Argentina logo with the princess.
Once again, please give a round of applause to our senior cheerleaders and football players.
Do you want to put the title card up? Good afternoon, almost, as it's 11:42 a.m. still. Welcome to Cranston Stadium in Cranston, Rhode Island. It is another beautiful afternoon and another day of Rhode Island high school football. The Tollgate Titans and the Davies Tech Patriots, the debut broadcast on Fans Only Sports Network. Matt Gillis alongside Bryce Antok. Bryce, Tollgate has had an up and down season. They're going to try to go up again today in their senior day home game against the Davies Tech Patriots team, only their second year of existence and a big moment for them last week as they picked up a huge first victory in program history.
And you just mentioned it. Last week was their first win in program history with a 16-0 victory over Hope High School. So they're 1-0 in conference play and currently kind of sitting atop since they've got 0 points allowed. But the week before they had a non-conference game against PCD, the co-op, and they did end up losing that game 6-0. So 2 close contests for them today. And, you know, they got to have a little bit of momentum and finally some good feelings about the program and feelings about themselves to come in here today and maybe get 2-0 in the conference schedule.
Yeah, and we'll actually see that very same Hope team later on in the season. But, of course, today is senior day for the Tollgate Titans, and you saw the proceedings happen on the field just a few moments ago. The Tollgate Titans players and senior cheerleaders all introduced, and we want to take a moment. We want to take a moment to go through and recognize those players and cheerleaders one more time, but the Tollgate Titans in their all red with the white trim and white helmets and a pretty sweet brand new Titans logo on the helmet are 2 hour broadcast left and about ready to run out. And here come the Titans. And as we mentioned, it is a bright blue, sunny senior day for the Titans and a moment to recognize the Titans players. And we are going to take a look at that with number 59. That's Michael Ferreira. Ferreira is an outside linebacker and defensive lineman. Number 32, Sean Dunphy, the running back linebacker switch player. 76, John Olnick, an offensive line and defensive linebacker. Number 70, Devin Manzo. Number 10, Jaron Soto, the tight end linebacker. Number 50, Sebastian Glashenko, linebacker and quarterback. 32 is Sean Dunphy, the running back linebacker. 28 is Justin Ortiz, the running back linebacker split player as well. A lot of split players. 13, of course, Grayson Pasquino, a player we've mentioned numerous times through the games that we've done, and we'll talk about him later on in the broadcast. 76, John Olnick, a linebacker defensive player split as well, a player to watch. He was on the Providence Journal player to watch for the season. 60 is Jeffrey Parisi, another part of the offensive line, defensive line. 70, Devin Manzo. Number 2, Francisco Lopez, the star wide receiver. Mentioned a lot of times during broadcast. Jaron Soto, the tight end. I think they were back around. So we'll take a look now at the Tollgate cheerleaders. 7 ladies, seniors. Madison D'Souza, one of their captains. Hannah Albrecht. Gabrielle Kalin. Brianna Wisnowski, S.A. Nile, Samantha Larrabee, Olivia Adler-Marinaro. And that's your senior Tollgate Titans cheerleaders. So 17 seniors today, 10 on the football side, 7 on the cheerleading side, all passing off, and we welcome you once again to Fans Only Sports Network, our debut broadcast here from Cranston, Rhode Island, our home base. So it's great for the first broadcast of the brand new network branding to be a part of this. And we're going to go into players to watch. And we talked about it, Tollgate Titans, their senior, Grayson Pasquina.
And we know Grayson, as good as he's been over his career here at Tollgate, he's got to perform today on senior night. You know, you look for the veteran leadership in a day like today. Obviously, these seniors that we just recognized didn't expect to have this opportunity, probably come in the fall when they heard about their loss of the season then. So to have this opportunity now is one you've got to capitalize on since you didn't know you're going to have it. So definitely going to be looking for a big game from him through the legs. We saw him, or with his legs rather, we saw him in the pregame doing a lot of running, a lot of read options. So he looks ready to go as ever.
And on the flip side for Davies, it's Matthew Patnode, the junior captain, a wide receiver, linebacker. A lot of times you'll see that the switch players playing both sides of the ball in high school. Number 13 for the Davies Tech Patriots, the player to watch on the flip side. So a Division IV contest in RWIL football. You mentioned it with Davies Tech getting that win against Hope last week. An interesting situation in that Davies is top of the conference right now.
That's a great point. They are tied with, I believe, Ponagansett and Narragansett right now, who are also 3-0, but they do have that 0 for points allowed, so they currently are sitting right on top. And, you know, you almost kind of have to root for them. It's like a feel-good story. They got their first win. They're sitting 1-0, and you really just hope that they can keep it up. And it's going to be a real test for them today and see if they can hang with these big dogs in the conference and get ready for teams like Ponagansett and Narragansett. They're going to have to find themselves early in this game and really get off to a good start.
And we saw Ponagansett last week at this very same field, this very same stadium against the Tollgate Titans, and Ponagansett had their way with Tollgate in that game.
Yeah, that's a great point. So this is a very good size-up matchup for this team to really know where you sit, really know what you have. So once again, Davies is really trying to have to dig deep and find themselves, and you got to take it one day at a time. You really never know. They say any given Sunday, or in high school, any given Saturday or Friday usually. So this is their opportunity to make the most of what they have and look forward to bigger matchups in the future.
And once again, we want to thank you all for tuning in and welcome you to Fans Only Sports Network, a brand new rebranding and relaunch for those of us who have been here for a moment. We are privileged and pleased to be part of the new brand, which will stretch us further than just the Ocean State throughout the entire region of New England. And we invite you all to check out our brand new website, fansonlysports with a Z.com. That's fansonlysports, SPORTZ.com.
Groundbreaking stuff today, absolutely.
And it's great to be able to do the very first broadcast under our new flag in Cranston, Rhode Island, our de facto home base of operations. So the Tollgate Titans directly below our broadcast position on the home side in the all red with white trim. Davies Tech on the far side in the black pants, the white jerseys with black sleeves and the gold numbering and lettering, and a pretty sweet kind of Purdue / Vanderbilt looking D on their helmets. So both of the teams, Tollgate and Davies Tech, getting logo upgrades in the off season and coming out with some pretty sweet lids.
And you can say that again and again and again. We saw it with Central as well. They had the new uniforms that looked absolutely sick when we did the game, them versus Cranston West. But both of these teams have great uniforms.
So Patnode has gone out to center along with Joseph Pankowitz. They're going to get the toss from the referees, and we will see who will receive this opening kickoff, and or if there's going to be the defer, which we've seen a number of times. Strategy hasn't played so well for Tollgate. They deferred after winning the toss last week against Ponagansett, and then had a little bit of problems on their opening offensive drive, resulted in a snap that went over the head of their punter and was recovered by Ponagansett in the end zone for a touchdown. So they are going to try to flip the script and write a better storyline on this early morning / early afternoon that it's been for us. Got to have coffee to get going today.
Yeah, I think you still got yours sitting right there, so you might want to finish that one before kickoff. But no, you mentioned it. The starts are massive in high school football. The game we did last week, the teams just slipping my mind, but we saw that fumble on the opening kickoff, and that really set the tone for the rest of the game. And the team that fumbled the ball really could not recover after that. They found themselves down quick.
Yeah, that was out in Newport with Mount Hope. And we want to thank our sponsors, Lynch Law, Elmwood Sports Center, and Paul J. Ferns, attorney at law, local partners who, without their support, this broadcast would not be possible. So the Titans trying to pump themselves up and get themselves ready this last home game in a very short season with all the COVID protocols that have gone on. This is technically considered the Fall 2 season, even though we are in early April.
And yeah, not much left after this for some of these teams. Only 2 or 3 games, as Tollgate does have, I believe, 3 games after this, but all 3 are on the road. So having the luxury of still having a senior night doesn't matter when it is. You're just glad that you ended up having it.
And we're going to pause for the playing of the national anthem. A very boisterous crowd inside Cranston Stadium for this final home game of the season for the Tollgate Titans. And the referee coming over to the Tollgate sideline giving a final instruction. Now the Tollgate coaches, it looks like they're maybe missing the down marker. So they have the chains over on the far sideline. They're missing the down marker, and that's what they're trying to fetch very quickly. And here it comes. So,
as we did hear the announcement by the PA announcer asking for some volunteers to hold up the chains. So no surprise here that they ended up missing something, but you never know what you're going to get in high school football sometimes.
Always an adventure and always a lot of fun to call. And the stadium decorated today in the red, white, and blue balloons significant of the Tollgate colors, and all of the banners hanging on the bar down there at the front row, each one for a number of a player graduating, and then there are posters on the flip side for the cheerleaders as well, and the senior cheerleaders all wearing sashes indicating them as senior members of the squad. So the Tollgate Titans will be back to receive. It is number 2, the senior wide receiver, Francisco Lopez. And the Davies Tech Patriots will scoot their way out and get set. And it's number 13, Matthew Patno, the junior captain, who will get the proceedings underway. 12 minutes on the board, and we're ready to play football on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon. Kick is up, and we are underway, and it's going to go short to the second line up man, and then it's going to be run well back to the 43, 44-yard line. And that's Jaron Soto, the tight end for Tollgate. And Pagano, the kicker, actually makes the stop.
And it was a pretty decent kick. It was just the fact that it was hit as such a line drive and so quickly that it didn't allow for the players to get down the field and be able to make a tackle quick. You want to get that one up a little bit higher and give your team a chance to get down the field to, tackle them a little bit further than maybe the 43-yard line.
And it's Grayson Pasquina in the pistol formation to start 1st and 10 from the 43. Hard snap count here. Sends Khalees in motion, and then Pasquina takes it himself, a pickup of about 5 on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and 5.
And just watching Tollgate in the pregame, that was something they were in a lot of motion in the backfield to really try and distract. We'll see what happens when they do end up handing it off to a guy like Khalees. We know he's so fast. And then we wondered how many times the quarterback was going to take it, being especially the senior. And we know he can do a lot of things with his legs, so nice gain on 1st down.
Pasquina breaks them out of the huddle. This time he'll go under center. 2 split in the backfield, 3 wide. Takes a snap, handoff here to Devon Mead. Mead is going to power his way back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe picks up about 1, and it's going to set up about a 3rd and 4.
That was a good piece of tackling by Davies. You saw Anthony Silva on there, getting there initially, and then just help coming in order to keep the running back only gaining a yard on that one. So good job, and this is a big 3rd down early in the game. You'd love to see a great stop, especially after a kick return that came so far back to you.
So 3rd and 4 for the Titans here. They're going to go 1 in the backfield, so a I formation almost, with the running back directly behind Pasquina. Snap, play action, fake, goes out in the flat there to Zach DeCorpo, and DeCorpo is going to pick up enough for the 1st down.
And that was a very nice play by Damian Scott. I don't know if you see him, but he was just immediately tracking the ball. Once it was thrown right over his head, he turned around and just headed straight downfield. Great job tackling him from behind, because who knows how far Tollgate could have gone if he didn't make that play.
Zachary DeCorpo, one of our players of the game from the game against Smithfield back at the beginning of the season. And with a timeout on the field, they are going to take a look at this from our broadcast position where we are directly in. It looks like a straight shot for a 1st down. We want to welcome you once again to the very debut broadcast of Fans Only Sports Network. Brand new brand encompassing the entire New England region. We are privileged and pleased to have you here. Fans Only Sports, SPORTZ.com. And they are taking a hard measurement look. I think the nose of the football has it, and they're going to call it short by a chain length and 4th down.
And initially, when I did see the tackle, I do agree. I did think the knee came down before he ended up sliding for that 1st down. I think this is a good call.
It's going to be literally short by a chain link. If you look at how the referee is holding the chain, that is about as short as you can make it. I'm surprised the nose of that football isn't rubbing against the pole.
They're going to have to get the no card out and put it between.
So I don't know about you, but I'm looking for a quarterback sneak, kind of just a blast play and just dump it right in the center. And you've got literally an inch to go. The nose of the football looks like it's on the opposite side. So here we go, 4th and very inches. And they're just going to push Pasquina over the line. He's going to pick up about 4 on the play. So it's going to be, without question, emphatically a 1st and 10.
And that was a neat play design, just seeing Khalees there just come in motion once again and then just shove his quarterback forward, saying it doesn't matter if you fall pretty quickly as long as you get over. Realistically, at 3 inches, you're going to get the first down. So pretty cool play design. I don't know if I've seen that one before.
So Pasquina goes over to the sideline, talks it over with the coaching staff, heads back into the huddle, and they're going to go in that pistol formation once again. A fresh set of downs to work with here. And on the offensive side of the 50 now, here's Pasquina, first throw, trying to go to the hands of Joseph Pankowitz, just outside of his reach.
And Pankowitz got open on that one. The defenders were kind of turning their head at the quarterback, seeing where he was going to throw, and just for some reason seemed to forget that they had Pankowitz just running straight through them. So you'd love to get that throw back if you're the senior quarterback, but I'm sure he's going to have other opportunities, and we know he's got a cannon.
So 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass to Pankowitz. Pistol formation to the opposite side this time, 3 wide to the left. And they're going to go passing the flat. It goes off the fingertips of Devon Mead, and a 2nd straight incompletion.
Wide receiver screen this time.
3rd and 10.
It was just a quick little wide receiver screen. It had a blocker in front of him. Looked like he was going to have some running room ahead, but another incomplete pass on the drive.
And this is a critical play for the Titans here as they face a 3rd and 10. They've gotten the ball on the offensive side of the 50. They want to be able to keep this going. They've had problems with first drives. And in a game against what could be a very stingy Davies Tech team, they need to put points on the board. Pasquina under center, drops back, rolls to his left, makes the pass, gets it connected to number 6, Dominic Khalees, and he's going to take it down inside the 20 to the 19. 1st and 10 Titans in the red zone.
That was some great patience by the senior quarterback. It exactly showcases his veteran leadership. Pasquina did a fantastic job realizing he still had players on him coming after him in the backfield, but taking his time, looking at his 1st, 2nd, and 3rd option to find his main man, Khalees, out there, who has been very, very vital on this offensive drive so far.
Here goes Pasquina back again, passing the backfield, picked up here by Mead. Mead's going to take it down to the 10, still fighting, and he's going to get down around about the 7-yard line before he's finally dragged down.
And
That's a complete pass.
And Joe Brooks almost stripped that one out there. Really close to forcing a turnover early in the game for Tollgate. But I'm a little surprised to see how many passing plays they've had so far.
Yeah, I think this is his 1st down. Yeah. So another 1st down for the Titans here. 1st and goal this time as they are at the 6-yard line. Man in motion is Khalees. They go to Devon Mead. Touchdown Titans.
And Devon Mead did a great piece of running there, just finding the hole, just absolutely exploding through it. Nothing anybody could do. Not even a brick wall would have stopped him because he had a massive head of steam.
So Devon Mead picks up a huge 6 for the Titans. And they're going to set up with number 63, Lautaro Merlino, to put in the extra point. And Merlino has been pretty accurate this season. He has this one up and again right down the turnpike and good. So the Titans get a first drive touchdown and find themselves leading 7-0 with 8:14 left to go here in the first quarter. And that is the way that you want to start.
And now here comes the issue for Davies, a team that's only scored 16 points. They got shut out in their first non-conference game. You're going to have to find a way to get yourself in the end zone, as they have been struggling to find themselves with getting points on the board. So this is going to be a very crucial drive. At least try and come at least away with a few first downs to give yourself some momentum. But it's going to be an uphill battle, and they're going to have to make sure they're on the defensive end. They keep Tolgate out of the end zone at least through the first quarter again after this.
And we will see what the Davies offense can do. Of course, we mentioned in the pregame about number 13, Matthew Patno, the junior, who has been a pivotal part of this Davies offense. This Davies Tech Patriots team, in just their second season of football existence.
Davies has a lot of guys in the middle. If I was a kicker, I'd maybe try and put this out to the sideline.
And Merlino's going to squib one right down the center. It's going to bounce around and then get picked up at the 20. It's Damian Scott, and Scott's going to kind of just throw himself out of bounds as he goes out at about the 32-yard line, and 1st and 10 for the Patriots.
It will be 1st and 10 for Davies at their own 32-yard line.
And they will get the offense going under the direction of the quarterback, number 11, Antonio Cabral. He's got Scott in the backfield along with him. One wide to each side. Rolls right. Cabral's going to tuck it in, keep it himself. Cabral's going to run and get pushed out of bounds at about the 41-yard line, a pickup of 8 or 9 on the play.
I'm not too sure that Tolgate was ready for his speed on that one. He just saw the corner, took it, and absolutely exploded out to the outside. So he's going to have to use his legs a lot in this game if he's going to have to carry his team into the end zone at least more than once.
So it looks like Cabral running that option offense there. And we'll see what he can do here on 2nd and 1. So 1 in the direct backfield. Taking all the time they can here. Cabral gets the snap, hand off. Bouncing off of the line, coming back and going to get pulled down to the backfield. And a loss of 2 on the play. Down goes Damian Scott. And it was Pankowitz there to make the stop.
And Pankowitz at the line of scrimmage. Pankowitz at the line of scrimmage was really bottled up, but just shook off the defender and found himself to get out to the edge and make that tackle. So great individual effort by him to get out there and make the play.
So it pushes them to a 3rd down and a long 3. And this Davies Tech offense really taking a lot of time in the huddle to get their play set and running an option offense, probably getting 2 plays out there in case they have to switch. And Cabral goes. Takes again, hand off there, trying to bounce on the line. That is Patnode, and Patnode gets bottled up in the backfield and then finally barrels his way through for a 1st down.
And we just talked about an individual effort on the defensive side from Tolgate, but this time the running back for Davies just put his head down and just started carrying defenders downfield. I mean, seems like he just went beast mode for a second, maybe a little bit Marshawn Lynch, but great play, and his teammates really backed him up and carried him forward. Obviously, you can't run through everybody on Tolgate, so that took a complete team effort by the linemen and all the skill positions to really push him forward.
Patno normally slot out as a wide receiver on this Patriots offense. Goes into the backfield there and punches one through. Fresh set of downs, the 44-yard line. Single backfield now, and a timeout is going to be called by Cabral, and they will talk it over. 6:43 left to go in the first quarter of action. We thank you once again for tuning in to this maiden broadcast of Fans Only Sports Network. Fans Only sportz.com is the website, and we are pleased to have you here on this debut broadcast for a brand new network that stretches us further than just the state of Rhode Island, but all across the New England region. And to that being said, we will be in Connecticut later this afternoon for a CIFL game between Amity and Southern New London County. So you can check out Connecticut Independent Football League football. Their week 2 of the spring season coming up this afternoon at 4 p.m. on Fans Only Sports Network.
And you love to see it. Let's hope that it's a good game, like one that we can hopefully get here. I'm not surprised they did call a timeout. Tollgate had the box stacked on that last one, and they are a very run-heavy team.
He's going to go Cabral in the pistol formation, man in motion, low snap. Cabral has to pick it up off the turf, powers his way through himself, picks up about 5 on the play, and it's going to set up a 2nd and 5 as he's stopped right at the 49-yard line. Jaron Soto with the stop there for the Titans defense.
And Cabral is a big and fast dude, so it's going to take more than one guy to bring him down. As you saw, Tollgate kind of formed a wall at the 49-yard line to really make sure. You saw players jumping on to make sure that he couldn't break out, because that's exactly what he will do if you don't bring him down with enough people.
I feel like I'm stuck in the middle of an NFL game right now, Titans-Patriots. Should be a Gillette calling this game. Here is the Davies Tech Patriots with Cabral under center. Now steps back. And a flag. And looks like we're going to have a dead ball foul, delay of game on the Patriots, and that's going to back them up. So it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, and they're going to go from 2nd and 5 to 2nd and 10.
And there's just two things for that. The reason you see that is, A, I'd say that Antonio Cabral, I mean, he is a sophomore, but also you can't really see not much of a clock in front, so to keep turning your head, it's got to be a little difficult, and sometimes you just get a little lackluster with it.
There is a 40-second play clock in high school football as Cabral goes here. Big pass play on 3rd down. It's going to go over the hands, and it's caught. And off to the house. Touchdown, Patriots.
That is going to be shown on the next You Got Mossed on ESPN. I mean, that was unbelievable. A great throw. Looked a little bit underthrown, but a great play to high point the ball, really jump over the defender, and just take it, turn around, and run in the back of the end zone. That's exactly what you needed. We questioned Davies to get a touchdown on the offense, as we know they'd struggled, but really seemed easy for him. Going straight down the field.
And the wide receiver player we mentioned at the beginning of the game, Matthew Patnode, going all out to pluck that one from midair, and a Patriots touchdown, and now a chance they're going to go for 2 here. Cabral rolls to his left. Little Tim Tebow jump pass, and it goes to number 14, Nick Maston, and Maston has the 2, and it's 8-7.
And that defensive play was a little spotty there. The defender on number 14, Maston was playing good coverage on him, but then all of a sudden realized that the quarterback had escaped the pocket and just came back up to him to try and make a play, but just kind of forgot that his man was open. So you gotta be careful. He's gonna need some help. He can't do everything by himself on the outside. But once again, Cabral with a great effort, and honestly, Tollgate seeming a little bit stunned as to what they've just seen happen in the last minute of play.
So all of a sudden, a flip of the script And drive number 1 for the Titans results in a touchdown. Drive number 1 for the Patriots results in a touchdown. A 2-point conversion connected. A little Tim Tebow shuffle jump pass there. And Patnode will line up his second kickoff as Lopez is back deep to receive for the Titans. 5:24 left to go in this first quarter of action. Kick that goes angled to the side will get picked up there by Glashenko, and he will get tackled down at the 30, and it will be 1st and 10 for the Titans.
And that was exactly what I was trying to say earlier for Tollgate. Both of these teams have stacked the middle on these kickoffs. If you just kick it a little bit to the sideline, that allows your team to get down. It allows yourself to regroup and focus on one point of, really defending. And it doesn't allow for the team to gain as many yards on the kickoff. So great execution there by Davies and a team that last time when they kicked it off was returned back to just about the 45, 46-yard line. So now starting at the 31, much better, much more manageable for a defensive stop here.
Pasquina under center. Hands this one off. A big run up the middle. It's Roman Abadiello getting his first carry of the game. He picks up about 5 on the play. Actually, they're going to mark it 6, and it's going to be a 2nd and 4. All right, thanks to Lynch Law, Elmwood Sports Center, Paul J. Ferns, attorney at law, our local sponsors and partners without whom today's broadcast would not be possible. The Titans offense breaks the huddle, and they're going to go back. Split backfield, 1 wide to each side. Pasquina takes the snap. Little fake there, and the ball pops out. It's going to get recovered. Devon Mead got it stripped away. But it's number 59, Michael Ferraria, senior, jumping right on the ball. And so they pick up a few, and it's 3rd and a long 2. Very lucky moment there for the Titans.
And we saw a moment earlier in the game where Davies almost stripped a Titan down inside of the 5-yard line. So we see Davies a lot with these active hands trying to strip the ball. Very active.
Pasquina in that pistol formation again, going to send Mead in motion. Play action fake there, and Pasquina's going to take it himself. First down to the 45. He's going to get across to about the 46. Actually, they're going to mark him on the opposite side, actually, so he's going to be about the 45. Nose of the ball on the 45. One way or another, first down Titans.
It is good for a Titans first down. 1st and 10 Titans at their own 45.
Last time that Tollgate had the ball, they did rush it a lot at the beginning of their drive and started to open it up with the passing game. So we'll see if they do switch it up, if they keep going back and forth a little bit.
Snap play here coming up on the fresh set of downs. And a floating pass that kind of just got hung up in midair.
As we kind of just expected, to see if they were going to switch it up, maybe throw a pass. The run game really opened up as the safeties kind of had to move forward, opened up something over the top. Just another missed throw by Tollgate. You got to really make those if you're going to keep scoring at a high pace. As we know both of these teams can score. It's just who's going to make the defensive stop now.
So 2nd and a long 10, setting a little off schedule on the errant pass there, trying to connect with Dominic Calise. Send Mead in motion again. They fake 2 Mead. Pasquina keeps it himself. Can he get the outside edge? He does. First down and then some. There he goes. A self-made play by the quarterback, Grayson Pasquina, to the 25-yard line. They're going to mark his knee down at the 26. Either way, 1st and 10 Titans, and they are in striking distance again.
As we saw the errant throw last time by Pasquina that he really just made up for with his legs. We knew that he's got the wheels, so for him to showcase it like that is really a great job.
The senior number 10, Tevin Lima, on the stop there for the Patriots. And a fresh set of downs and a little bit more field to work with here. Pasquina under center. Mead jackback run there with Khalees. They go outside, and picking up about 3 on the play is Pankowitz.
And a flag down on the field, too. Maybe a horse. It looked like maybe even a tackle up high, so we'll see what they end up ruling. Could have been a hold.
Yeah, it was not in the backfield where the flag was thrown down. It was right about where Pankowitz came down, so
Yeah.
it may be a face mask or a hard
did look like
tackle.
a face
It's going to
mask.
be a face masking, so that's going to be a pickup for the Titans. So it's going to be a pickup for a 5-yard pickup and then an automatic first down. Not entirely sure what my high school rules were. It's going to stay first down, so it's going to be 1st and 5.
Will be 1st and 5 for the Titans from the Davies 21-yard line.
After the penalty on the face mask. And now the Titans right on the door of the red zone. Handoff here to Abadiello. Abadiello is going to go to the outside. He's going to pick up the first down and get it across the 15 to the 14-yard line. Roman Abadiello. With 2:40 left to go in this first quarter of action. And they're going to call it just shy of the sticks, so 2nd and 1. We are at the mercy of natural spotting and not digital spotting like in college and the NFL. There's Khalees in motion. Pasquina on his legs again, right up the center. He's going to take it down to about the 6-yard line. Grayson Pasquina working the gap himself on those blast plays. Nick Maston on the stop for the Patriots.
Gain of 10 on the play. It is good for a Titans first down.
So a 1st and goal at the 7-yard line. And with 2:34 left to go here in the first quarter of action, a chance for the Titans to set another 6 on the board. Khalees in motion. Out in the flat to Abadiello. Abadiello is trying to look for any space. He's going to cut back the other way to the 5. Did he get in? They're going to say down at the 1-yard line. Roman Abadiello, a huge cutback play to the 1.
And that was a good call. He did get stopped just a bit short there, but we've seen how dynamic this quarterback has been with his legs so far. Pasquina, you know it may be in his hands again.
And here is an opportunity for the Titans to load the line as they sit at the 1-yard line, a 2nd and goal. Pasquina breaks the huddle. He's got Abadiello and Mead in the backfield. Khalees out wide along with DeCorpo. They just punch it in. It's Pasquina himself. Touchdown Titans.
As we expected him to just end up carrying it in. It seemed like the defense really didn't give much of an effort on that one. Kind of just, I'll just say that I think everybody kind of knew where the ball was going to go.
And they're going to go for the 2. Obviously seeing that Davies Tech went for the 2 on their last, so not having a kicking game available, it seems they're going to go for the 2 here to try to play matching with what the Patriots are going to do. Snap here from Pasquina, floats out to the corner, sends one in, and it's cut by Calise for the 2-point conversion. And it's 15-8 Titans with 1:25 left to go in the first.
No shortage of scoring in the first quarter here, as it seems like these teams are just willing their way down the field. It's just going to come down to who makes the first defensive stop. That could really be a difference down as we get to the nitty-gritty time coming in the late second half. But still so early in this game, so many so many plays that are going to be made, and this is now the time for Davies to make another play.
All right, thanks to Lynch Law, Elmwood Sports Center, and Paul J. Ferns, attorney at law, our local sponsors and partners, for making today's broadcast possible. And welcome once again to the debut broadcast of Fans Only Sports Network, New England's brand new regional sports provider. Fans Only Sports, that's Fans Only, SPORTZ.com. That logo is pretty sleek. Got a nice little speed feel to it. Here's a squib kick that's going to roll all the way back, and it's going to finally make its way into the end zone for a touchback. Tollgate's starting to think they might have had him pinned.
And Tollgate may have been thinking they were almost about to score a touchdown if that one stayed in before it went out of bounds. I mean, if that thing stopped inside of the 5-yard line, there was nobody there for the Patriots to go get it. That would have been a disastrous play for Davies.
A little discussion the other day amongst some of the staff about whether we need to put the single into football play here in the U.S. They do have a single point rule in Canada. It's called the Rouge, where if you, on a kickoff, kick the ball outside of the back of the end zone and or through the goalposts, you get a single point. And there's some discussion about whether or not maybe we should put it here in the U.S. I kind of like the way it is. Let's keep Canadian football, Canadian football. There's the first play on scrimmage here and trying to get to the outside, and he's going to get pulled down after only a gain of about 2 is Antonio Cabral. So no option there for Cabral. He goes quarterback keep.
And this defense was relentless getting to that. The pursuit was great to the outside and keeping him in bounds as well. Just not making sure he could get anything outside on the edge. And once again, this defense showing up strong at the line of scrimmage.
There's DeCorpo and Aguilar there on the stop. And now we're going to have a second and about 7 with the final 38 seconds to go here in the first quarter of action. They're going to take the snap. Cabral rolls to his right. He's looking to pass. Has an open receiver. Cannot. Did he come up with it? He popped it up and caught it. The circus catch by Matthew Patnode. And a 1st and 10 for the Patriots from the 41. We're getting all sorts of highlight reels today.
And that was some absolutely great concentration to just keep an eye on the ball. I knew exactly where it was to go up and get it. Sometimes it's so difficult because you lose it, but for him to maintain and really eye contact on the ball and just the concentration and hand-eye coordination on that was very, very good.
And that's going to take us to zeros in the end of the first quarter. It's the Tollgate Titans 15, the Davies Tech Patriots 8. You're watching Rhode Island High School football on Fans Only Sports Network. Second quarter action about to get underway here, and a 1st and 10 for the Patriots at the 41-yard line. Moving left to right on your broadcast screens right now, and a man in motion is Damian Scott. Little pitch play to Scott. He's going to pick up about 5 on the play if they count forward progression, and then he's pushed all the way back to the line of scrimmage, but they're going to call forward progression.
And once again, he almost lost the football there. It was kind of jumbling in his hands as all the Tollgate Titans were just really rallying to him. So good thing that he really put both arms on it, wrapped it up nice and tight, because at first he had a little bit loose.
So pick up a 4 on the play, creates a 2nd and 6. And the Titans making a few switches on defense here. Abadiello, who we've seen a lot on the run plays out of the backfield, coming in the secondary. And a whistle and a timeout called by Davies, their second timeout that they've called this half. So they have one more to go as we're just a minute in to this second quarter of action.
And knowing that Tollgate has really had their way on offense, you got to take your time and get the right play calls now, because it's up to your offense now to really match it. You've got the almost, I'd say, 1 point advantage if you can convert on 2 if you score another touchdown. So you really, at this point, you've just got to outscore Tollgate, and you've really got to play your game. I mean, we've seen the quarterback for Davies, number 13, Patton, just really, or rather Cabral, number 11, do a great job of using his legs and throwing downfield. So he's going to need some help other than the key player of the game, as we mentioned. Who else is going to step up for this offense and really create something for those two to get separation, not only for the wide receiver, but the quarterback as well.
So coming out of the timeout here, Patriots will have a 2nd and 6, 10:59 to go here in the first half. And Titans setting up on defense, three-man front. Option play here. Cabral keeps it himself, pressured in the backfield, rolling. He's going to get hit as he throws, and it's going to go short of number 2, Jaden Medeiros. But right in the backfield there, pressuring him, was number 59, Michael Ferreira, who put a big hit on Cabral right as he was throwing.
And I was a little nervous as that pass was going up. At first, it looked like he was going to try and throw across his body, and as we all know, that's just a recipe for disaster. But he had a good job knowing he was going to get hit anyway, but just took the time to set his feet a little bit and made sure the pass was in at least the spot that no Titan could go up and grab it. And now, unfortunately, it was between both of his wide receivers out there, but still could have been a lot worse than it was.
A 3rd and 6 now for the Patriots, and the Titans clearly set, looking in a prevent defense against the pass play here. 3 split wide to the left for the Patriots, 1 in the backfield in the pistol formation. Low snap there, has to be plucked off the turf again. Cabral in trouble. Flag in the backfield. Cabral's going to get hit and taken down about 2 yards from the line of scrimmage, and now multiple flags on the play.
And that first one looked like it might have been on one of the linemen for Davies, maybe a little block in the back or something about, there's maybe a reason that Cabral was able to escape the pocket so well. We'll have to see what the refs do and what that second flag was.
So a flag thrown down in the backfield in the course of the play. Usually we see holdings there, and it is a holding on Davies. Then we're going to have a face mask call, so offsetting penalties, and we will go with 3rd down from the 45. So we just go back to where we were and do it all over again.
And that'll work out in the Davies' favor. They obviously didn't get the first down on that last play, so see if maybe this time they can.
Switching over on the opposite side is Patno. Cabral, hard snap again. This time it's a handoff going right up and about 2 yards short of the sticks that they need. And so we're going to get fourth down and about one. About a yellow on the stop there for the Titans. And this is going to be fourth and a minute one.
Measly half a yard, if you want to call it that. We've seen a lot of quarterback sneaks already. You know, sometimes if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So you'll never know if you're going to see one. We know Cabral is so strong and so powerful getting and go running downfield. So I wouldn't be surprised to see him take off, or maybe it's a little bit of misdirection with one of these backs he's got.
Timeout called by Davies. That is their third timeout of the half. So they are out of timeouts with 9:53 left to go in the second quarter. We thank you all once again for tuning in on this maiden broadcast of Fans Only Sports Network, stretching through the entire region of New England. We are privileged and pleased to bring you all sorts of action. 2 games on the slate today. As we started this one at noon, we'll have Connecticut Independent Football League action at 4 o'clock this afternoon between the Southern New London County Mutiny and Amity Independent FC. And I got to say, having taken a glance at the Mutiny logo last night, that is a pretty sweet logo. I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers might end up getting jealous of the way their logo looks. So a 4th and 1 here. Hard snap count. Did they get them to go off sides? They did. It's going to be first down Patriots.
And that
Offsides Tollgate.
all part of the plan. I think they kind of maybe drew that one up, maybe even the timeout to use it as a little bit of maybe a distraction for these guys to just really think that they're going to go quick, go fast, and go straight down the gut. But sometimes that is just an inexperienced factor, that sometimes you just get a little too ahead of yourself, a little too antsy, because you want to make that play and that stop on 4th down.
Yeah, Cabral using the hard snap there, got number 59, Michael Ferrara, to commit. And a 1st and 10 for the Patriots from the 44-yard line. Snap to Cabral, rolls to his right. Cabral's looking, he's pushed by Ferrara, and then again by John Olnick. And Olnick gets him out of bounds, and he picks up about 2 on the play for a 2nd and 8.
And once again, the defense really forcing everything to come to this far side, or the near side, I guess, for us of the field, and not allowing anything to go back the other way. So Davies was kind of put in a corner there and didn't have many options.
Producer Ron Robert taking pictures for the gram up here in the broadcast booth. Cameraman Tyler Ferrero with us today as a 2nd down play goes for about 4. It's going to be 3rd down and about 5. And Cabral has the Patriots offense moving into the Titan zone. 3rd down at the 39. Pass out in the backfield to Patnode. He's going to get bottled up and taken down right at the line of scrimmage. Zach DeCorpo, along with Michael Ferrara, on the play there, and 4th down.
And it looks like that play, they were maybe trying to set themselves up for a better opportunity on a 4th down play, but once again, the pursuit by this Tollgate defense not allowing anything out wide.
And as Patnode and Scott trot off the field, though, look, and Cabral's going to trot back on. Timeout called, and a Titans player down on the field. And with that, we'll pause for a moment. You're watching Rhode Island High School football on Fans Only Sports Network. Joseph Pankowitz, the down player there for the Titans, up on his own power and able to walk off the field. Always good to see. The Tollgate Titans leading the Davies Tech Patriots 15-8, 8-17 left to go here in the first half of action. A fourth down for the Patriots here at the Titans' 41-yard line. And they are going to send the offense back onto the field. So Cabral, pistol formation with Anthony Silva. Low snap here, picked by Cabral, throws it, it's intercepted! Picked off by number 20 run Roman Abadiello, and it's going to be first down Titans from the 38-yard line. Well, it wasn't a punt play, but that's just about as positive as getting a punt return.
Yeah, and that's a great point. I mean, it was fourth down anyway, so you really just got to try and take your chance, force something in there with nothing really open. I mean, really not the worst situation. That's not like at least he returned it and brought it back to the house. So now it's up to your defense. Tollgate's done their job on defense. Now it's Davies' turn.
The Titans offense with opportunity here. Pasquina under center. Takes a snap, handoff here to Abadiello. Abadiello's going to power his way through. Still on his feet as he spins out of one tackle. First down, still on his feet. And down to the 48-yard line. Roman Abadiello, a run of about 15 on the play.
And right after the interception, too, I mean, he's doing everything for Tollgate so far. And I don't see a reason why not to keep feeding him the ball. He's an absolute tank over there that the Titans have. So he is a weapon that they should keep using all game.
Roman Abadiello is listed on the roster as a running back, but you look at his size and stature, and he fits more into this halfback, fullback, more than really being listed as a running back. And they used him there in that very type of set, that split backfield set. And here we go with 1st and 10 from the 48. Pasquina sets, rolls, tucks, keeps it himself. Grayson Pasquina picks up about 5 on the play, down to the 43-yard line as we tick down towards 7 minutes left to go here in the first half. And the Titans are going to try to put one more on the board here before the break.
This is dangerous water here for Davies. It is going to be very, very difficult if they allow Tollgate to get in the end zone for them to come back at all in this game, just because of how dominant Tollgate has been on the offensive side of the ball.
Pasquina takes a snap, fakes to Abadiello, rolls to his right, throws a little bit outside of the reach of Dominic Calise, who was bothered there by Tevin Lima on the play. So a 3rd down and 6 coming up here for the Titans, and with the incomplete pass, maybe a little bit off schedule now.
And that's every drive now for Tollgate, that they've started with a successful run and then ran it a few more times. And after about the 3rd, 4th, or 5th play, they have passed it every single time. So it seems like their game plan so far is really trying to force Davies to step up into the box and maybe trying to get these deep plays, throw something over the top.
And the helping hand for the Titans here is that the Patriots have used all 3 of their timeouts, so they can't stop the clock at any point here for the remainder of the second half. And the Patriots are going to have to try to get stops on defense. Pasquini, handoff to Abadiello, and there goes Abadiello once again. First down, and picks up another 4 after he crosses the line. He will get it to about the 33-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Titans. Mustafa Main on the stop there for the Patriots.
as the Titans have really just had their way running the football all day. It seems like they have had really nothing to stand up against them. So it's going to have to be with seemingly a turnover for Davies if they're going to have to stop Tollgate so far in this game.
Pasquina under center, just Abadiello in the backfield. Sends Mead in motion. Khalees split wide along with DeCorpo. He's going to go, and this one's going to be batted down, trying to get Khalees on the cutback run.
And there is a flag on the near side here and far side.
So potentially a 2nd down and 10, but also something else. We'll see how this one works. It's going to be against Tollgate, 5-yard penalty. So it's going to be 1st and 15 after the penalty. So a offensive drive that had been going positively for the Titans sets them back. Second penalty called in the game on the Titans. Their first one was negated completely by the Davies Tech penalty. With Mead in motion here, Pasquina keeps himself, picks up the penalty yardage and then some, down to the 24-yard line, and we will wait for the spot, but perhaps enough for a 1st down. Or they might stop this one and take a measurement.
And
They're going to call it 2nd and 1.
And Tollgate has seemingly an incredible amount of yards after contact in this game. So like every time they get hit, they just barrel their way down for an extra 5 or 10 yards.
So the Titans offense trying to knock on the door once again here with 5 minutes left to go. And it's going to be Pasquina again on the keep, goes right up the center and picks up the 1st down into the red zone at the 18-yard line. Patno on the stop for Davies.
And this is impressive just in general for Tollgate, the fact that they went down and seemed a little shell-shocked for a second that they were actually losing it early on in this game. I don't think they were expecting Davies to come out with that incredible pass that we saw early in the game. But they've responded very, very well and have really just put their foot down and not let up on the gas pedal.
I apologize for earlier in the broadcast I said Pagano. The pronunciation's so close, I'm thinking of IndyCar season starting next week and talking about IndyCar driver Simon Pagano in my head. As a timeout finally called by the Titans for the first time this game with 4:15 left to go here in the 2nd quarter. Titans leading 15-8 over the Davies Tech Patriots on this maiden broadcast for Fans Only Sports Network. We thank you for tuning in this afternoon. You can catch all the action of sports around the New England region through the spring, summer, and into the 2021-2022 high school and collegiate years, as we are privileged to break ourselves into the entire New England region. Rhode Island high school football this morning, Connecticut high school football coming up this afternoon, a CIFL game between the Southern New London County Mutiny and Amity Independent FC, 4 o'clock kickoff. Matt Jolis and Bryce Antok in the booth today from Cranston Stadium in Cranston, Rhode Island. A beautiful blue sky, sunny afternoon on Senior Day for the Tollgate Titans, recognizing 10 senior players and 7 senior members of the cheerleading squad in ceremonies before the game today, and decorating the stadium with posters for all the players and the ladies of the cheerleading squad. 4:15 left to go here after the timeout. Pasquina under center. Sends Khalees in motion. Pasquina will fake to a Badiello, handoff to Mead. Mead's going to take a barreling run. Touchdown Titans. Devon Mead. The motion man in the backfield takes the play action fake snap handoff. And it is another 6 and 21-8 Titans with 4:08 left to go in this first half.
And talk about a successful play right out of the timeout. Talk about drawing one up. That was brilliantly done. I mean, it seemed like he was just touched walking into the end zone on that one. Just great execution by the offensive line.
They're going to go for the 2 again here as Pasquina under center, Abadiello in the backfield. Khalees and Mead split wide. Pasquina fades back, sends one, and then it is plucked and caught by Khalees. Another 2 to the board, and it's 23-8 Titans.
It has been an offensive dominant performance so far by Tolga. I mean, 3 possessions, 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. Can't ask for anything better than that.
A thank you once again to Lynch Law, Elmwood Sports Center, Paul J. Ferns, attorney at law, our local sponsors and partners, without whom today's broadcast of this Tollgate Titans Davies Tech football game would not be possible. We thank them for their support and patronage. The master of the pictures, Tyler Ferreira, our cameraman, enjoying the 70-degree weather that we're having here. And Bryce, I know you and I have been in some pretty cold barns during hockey season. It is a pleasure to be out here with open windows and sunshine in 70-degree weather on this April 10th in Rhode Island.
No, that's a great point. And as much as we love doing hockey, I am glad to be out here in some sun. I know you are too, but whew, it seems like it's been a long time coming.
Kickoff coming up here from Merlino. Sends this one right down the center. It's going to bounce for a second. This one will be picked up and run back to about the 42-yard line by Patno. Sorry, my apologies, the 36. Lost my yard markers for a second. 4 minutes left to go here in the first half of action. 23-8. Titans over the Patriots. And the Davies Tech offense, which had all sorts of speed and capability in the first series, driving straight down the field for a touchdown, has been bottled up by this secondary of the Titans defense throughout the remainder of the first and second quarters. And this is reminiscent of what we saw Tollgate do against Smithfield. Cabral rolling to his left. Nowhere to go there. He's going to pick up about 3 or 4 and then somehow barrel his way for about 5 or 6 more and a first down. Antonio Cabral turned what looked like a loss of 2 on the play into a pickup of 10 on the play.
And we have been talking about Cabral needing more than one guy to bring him down, and absolutely just showcasing it once again. I mean, 3, 4, 5 guys it took every single time to really get this dude down to the ground and barreling his way forward for another first down.
And the Patriots offense going to go no huddle here. Cabral had them right to the line, takes a snap here, empty backfield, looking to pass, throws one lofted way high, nowhere near Patno, and the Titans coaching staff not exactly pleased with that. It was technically in the area of Patno, though it was about 8 feet above his head.
Yeah, and he just had to get rid of that one. I mean, he was going to get hit in the backfield, didn't want to take the loss behind the line of scrimmage for about 10 yards, and knew that it was going to be a really, really 50-50 ball. Didn't like his chances, so just made sure it was out of bounds. But really made sure it was out of bounds.
Snap here, pitches back to Patno. Patno is going to get caught in the backfield if he doesn't turn the corner. He does. He's going to pick up about one on the play, but he's drawn down by Zach DeCorpo. As we tick down towards 3 minutes left to go here in the first half, 3rd and 7 coming up for the Patriots, and a very key play if they want to keep their offense going here with a chance to be able to pull a little bit back before the half.
That's a great point. It's got to happen now. You've got just under 3 minutes left in the first half, so you've got plenty of time. We know how explosive this offense can be. The only thing that you don't have is any timeouts left, so that's kind of where it comes back to bite you now.
And thank you very much, because I was just about to bring that point up if you didn't, but this is why I have you as a color commentator. As here we go, Cabral in the backfield, Patno. Right there is Pasquina. Grayson Pasquina making a defensive stop, and a flag down at about the 49-yard line on the opposite side. The referee might have just thrown that one pretty hard, but I have a feeling this is going to be a holding in the backfield.
And something I would really like to see Davies possibly try, and maybe even if they got a little trickery, I'm not sure how much they like to explore on the offensive playbook, but they've ran that screen behind the line of scrimmage a lot. Maybe you give that wide receiver a chance to throw the ball downfield. I mean, it seems like everybody's focusing on him, so I don't see why you can't.
So the holding penalty is, and I apologize for cutting you off there.
No problem.
The holding penalty there is declined, and so it's going to actually be a 4th down. So they're going to take the ball at the spot, which was the loss of 3 on the play. And it's going to be 4th and 13. And they are going to send the punting unit out this time. And it's Patno back to punt. Dominic Calise is the back man for the Titans, with 1:56 and counting to go here, and we'll see what they do here. Delay of game against Davies. They're going to take the 5 yards, and so it's going to make it 4th and 18, and that's going to give Tollgate a little bit better field position here on the punt from Patno.
Yeah, we saw some of Patno's punts earlier in warm-ups. Not travel too far, but get a lot of height, so we'll see if he can line it out a little bit.
High snap. It's going to back Patno up a little bit. Allows Meade to get a chance to get in there. It's going to roll and get picked up by Calise. Calise is going to run it back to the 45-yard line on the opposite side, hurdling a Davies player who is also down on the play, but it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Titans from the 45-yard line with about 1:20 left to go in the half, and a Titans player down on the field on their sideline. And while they attend to the injured Titans player, you're watching Rhode Island High School football on Fans Only Sports Network, Fans Only, SPORTZ.com.
Be honest with you, because it has been just a one-sided affair on the offensive side of the ball. Aside from that one big play Davies had, it has been really all Titans so far.
As yep. As finally they are able to pull Patno down. So it'll set up 1st and 10 for the Patriots from about the 15-yard line. And we'll see what the Patriots offense can do here. They finally place the ball. Cabral in the backfield. Snap there. Cabral trying to roll to his left, finally to his right. He's going to be pulled down for a sack of about 5, and it's going to put them to a 2nd and 14.
And this Tollgate team has really just turned it up a notch ever since they gave up that touchdown. Seemed a little bit lackluster. They're getting run all over on that first drive. But they have really just tightened everything up a little bit and have been playing absolutely sound defensively since the middle of the first quarter.
And the Titans sitting at 29-8 on the verge of potentially being able to hit that 35-point threshold. Here's a long pass downfield. This one's going to go over the head of Patno and was in the area of number 15, Ben North. But it's going to bring up a 3rd and 14 on the play.
Just something to note, I was watching that play. I was watching the quarterback Pasquina for Tollgate on the defensive side, and how he was lined up. He had a very, very wide stance when he was lined up against the wide receiver. So keep an eye on if they watch him, because that's much more difficult to track backwards. It's easier for you to get beat because you're more flat-footed than if you're on your toes at a more narrow stance. And immediately looking in his direction, the quarterback got
again
beat.
to Ben North and almost intercepted there by North.
And can I just say that that was what I just mentioned. Exactly, he just got beat. Pasquina just got beat because his feet are too flat and his stance is too wide. He has to narrow that stance a little bit more, almost like he's dropping back instead of kind of almost like stretching a little bit.
It's a 4th down. So a 3 and out forced by the Titans.
And if you didn't have any help on that one might have been going to the house, to be honest with you.
So Dominic Calise back at the 45-yard line. This one's going to go up a little bit. Calise is going to pick it up at the 35. It's going to deflect off of his shins and go out at about the 29-yard line. So we'll call it a gain of 9 on the play.
That's one way to do it.
And it's a 1st and 10 from the 30 for the Titans in prime striking distance here. 10:39 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. A 1st and 10 with Pasquina under center. Snap here, hands off to Meade in the backfield. Devon Meade is going to power through. He's going to pick up about 6 on the play and set up a 2nd and 4. And the Titans are content here with really just basically working the clock in their favor. There's no pressure upon them to put any more points on the board with a 29-8 lead.
No, but I'm sure that on senior night they want to get everybody involved as much as possible. And you never want to let your foot off the gas pedal because the moment you do that, we have seen some crazy things happen in the sports world. So this is a time when you just keep putting it down. You keep working, you keep going, you keep getting these rushing attacks going as far downhill as possible. And it seems like the slope has been very, very steep for them because they have really never looked back.
Stoppage of play there for the second as the referees were taking a look at a false start on the Titans will set them back to the original line of scrimmage. So it's going to be 2nd and 10.
In between you and me, I think 4 touchdowns on 4 drives. So going for 5 touchdowns on 5 drives, I think they want to see if they can almost get the perfect game, so to speak, you know?
Khalees in motion. Fake there to Abadiello. Mead powers through, and he's going to pick up. So it'll be a 3rd and 5. Pasquina has the Titans offense rolling with ease this afternoon. $15 points in the first quarter, 14 in the second, 29 on the game. Abadiello on the run here, and Abadiello will take that ball about a yard short. And so it'll be 4th and a long 2. And Pasquina will stay out with a 4th and 2, as they've had the ability in short yardage situations to pick up with ease. And I think they're going to try to do this one here again.
And we'll see for Davies if they can get their first defensive stop of the game. They've had a 4th down early in this game, but now they're 4th and more distance.
Pasquina keeps it himself. He's going to pick up 4 on the play. A 1st down for the Titans. As they will stop the clock to set the chains. Damian Scott getting the stop there. And
I would love to see the rushing yards per attempt for this Tollgate offense. It seems like every time they just touch the ball, it goes 5 or 6 yards. So unbelievable pieces of running. And as we saw at the end of the first half, the end of the first half for Tollgate, they can just really put points on you in a hurry. They can take their time. They can go hurry up. This offense is very dynamic.
And a down Titans player brings us to a timeout. The Tollgate Titans leading Davies Tech Patriots 29-18. We thank you for joining us on this maiden broadcast of Fans Only Sports Network. A brand new branding stretching us through the New England region. You can catch all the action and more. Fans Only Sports Network, Fans Only Sports, Fans Only SPORTZ.com. Back at Cranston Stadium. Matt Ellis alongside Bryce Antok. 29-8. And I say that so many times, and it just kind of, having seen this Titans team 3 times now and saw a game where they played exactly like this and then went the opposite of this to now come back like this. And here goes Devon Mead to the house for 6. Devon Mead, a 17-yard run and a Titans touchdown once again. It's 35-8 Titans.
And it seems like every drive is just copied and pasted. Who gets it every time? It seems like it's going to be Calise or it's going to be Mead or it's going to be the quarterback Pasquino running it in. It seems this team has not been stopped at all.
Merlino's going to go for the 1 for only the second time this game. They've been going for 2s throughout the process. Kick is up, no question there. Merlino has it through the uprights and good. It's 36-8 Titans. And our thanks to Lynch Law, Elmwood Sports Center, Paul J. Ferns, attorney at law, our local sponsors and partners without whom today's game would not be possible. This is Bryce having a little fun with our cameraman Tyler Ferreira, who's directly below our broadcast position, plucking the chapeau off the top of his head.
It was too easy. It was right there. I was just looking at it, and I'm like, you know, I think I could grab it. And I don't wonder how. Oh, I was wondering if he was going to notice, but it was. I guess I wasn't too subtle.
A beautiful 70-degree day in Cranston, Rhode Island. Blue skies, few wispy clouds, some sunshine. It has been quite a pleasant spring afternoon on this 10th day of April. Merlino will take the ball here at the 40-yard line on the kickoff X. Patno is back deep along with looks like might be Cabral. Actually, Merlino sends this one tumbling down. It will be picked up and carried here. Trying to get an edge is Patno. He cannot, and he's tackled down at the 33-yard line by Zach DeCorpo, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Patriots.
And this is maybe the time for Davies to just try and focus on coming out of here with a couple first downs on this drive. You know, it's almost too much of a mountain climb, especially at the rate that Tolgate has been scoring at, to try and come back in this game at this point, being just over halfway through this third quarter. And for me, it's going to be, can you get some momentum, at least moving forward out of this game? You know that you started off so well, and it's been all downhill from there, but can you make some of it back? Can you come away with another touchdown in the game, another 2 touchdowns, or maybe even a defensive stop, something to give yourself a little bit more positivity leaving this field today? But it still is early in the second half, so sometimes it's too early to say anything.
Cabral takes a snap there. Cabral's going to have an edge for himself. Biggest play of the day for the Patriots. He gets down to the 37-yard line. Check it. They're going to say he went out of bounds at the 41, but a 1st and 10 for the Patriots. Biggest pickup of 26 on the play.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. I mean, just one play at a time. You don't have to try and make everything up immediately. Just focus on your strengths, and we know their strength comes at the legs of Antonio Cabral, and he's been special today despite the fact that they're still looking at about a 28-point deficit.
Cabral. Pistol formation, 1 in the backfield. Snap to Cabral, rolls to his right. Has to look for a pass here. This is going to go over the hands of Patno, who will catch it, but they will say it will be caught out of bounds, so 2nd and 10.
And even though he didn't have his foot in bounds, I mean, he kind of juggled it. It was still a nice catch that he made when he was going to the ground. So, you know, maybe a couple little brownie points for him on that one.
So a 2nd and 10 coming up for the Patriots here in Titans offensive zone at the 41-yard line. 7:05 left to go here in the third. Hand off to Patno there. Patno is going to go for about 7. It's going to be 3rd and roughly 2. Lopez and Reed on the stop. All right, 3rd and 2 coming up here for the Patriots as the 3-man front of the Titans defense try to get the stop. And now they shuffle the play, bringing the house. DeCorpo trying to get through the backfield, but unable to get there and taken down. Picking up the first down. It's Patno.
So nice pieces of running that have been strung together by the Patriots here, just being able to move the chains time and time again. And we're going to have to see that sideline looking, a little frustrated, obviously, but hoping to get something back here, and you desperately need to.
The snap here. Cabral rolls to his left. Chased by Olnick. Chased again there and then taken down by number 10, Jaron Soto.
And Soto did make a really, really nice tackle, getting out to the edge and not allowing him to turn that corner. His relentlessness seeming to get out there, and his speed just really took over on that play.
I call it 2 on the pickup, so 2nd and 8. And Cabral sets in the backfield, split I formation. Snap to Cabral, handoff there to Patno. Patno is going to get bottled up at the line of scrimmage and then barrel forward for about 3 on the play. It's going to take him to the 25-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 6. The Titans fan base directly below our broadcast position in all sorts of fervent animation today.
We talked about the hockey atmosphere earlier. We will say we had some very loud hockey fans and families as well.
As a timeout called here by the Patriots with 5:19 left to go in this 3rd quarter. And 36-8, the Titans all over the Patriots here. Patriots with a 3rd and 6 to come. And Antonio Cabral is kind of trotting his way over to the huddle, sort of oddly looking, almost like he checked out of this game. And that's not what you want to see out of your captain and your quarterback.
No, it's a great point. You definitely don't want to, because he's so important, so vital. But, you're going to have to work with what you have. And Davies, it's been a difficult day for them, but they're going to need other players, especially. We understand Davies is such a young program, and it's so new. And for them to be able to come away with a win last week is, almost the goal of the season that they had to step in with. You have to get the first one before anything else, before you can think about the playoffs, before you can think about, really competing. So they have done that, and for me, I would say no matter if you lose the rest of the games, obviously you want to, and you want to maintain competitive. But I think that was the first step in building a program, obviously. So once again, our cap goes off to them, and we congratulate them. And this team still has battled today. They haven't given up. So no matter how the scoreboard stands at the end, you still have to be, proud of the guys with what you've done. You're still battling. I mean, look, they're at the 25-yard line, so they're still out here trying to put some points up on the board, and we'll see if they can.
Off the timeout here, a 3rd and 6 for the Patriots from the Titans' 25-yard line. 5:19 to go in the 3rd. Snap to Cabral. fakes to Patnode, looks back, trying to go for a pass. This one's going to go sailing, and Ben North is going to be right there to break it up for the Titans and sets a 4th down play. This is Patnode on the play action fake there, and they tried to go deep. Looked to be Joe Brooks.
And the player was open, but it was just a nice recovery by the Titan to be able to get his hand in there and just jar the ball loose, because it looked as though it was going in for a touchdown.
Joe Brooks, the deep man there for the Titans. 4th down, and Cabral has to do everything here to continue this Patriots offensive drive. He's going to be bothered in the backfield. Olnick's going to get there. A body yellow's on him, and then finally he's going to get bottled up, and they will call it as he's going to get a loss back to the original line of scrimmage, and it's going to be 4th down and a turnover on downs and a Titans 1st down.
I think everybody knew that the ball was going to stay in the hands of Cabral, and the defense was ready for it. They knew it was coming and really just attacked him, not letting him break the 1st or 2nd tackle, bringing a 4th and 5th guy in there.
A timeout on the field for a downed Titans player. Luckily just down on a knee there. Well, looks to be number 73, Julian Rodriguez, the down player, but he's up and off on his own power, just down to one knee there, so looks like not much too serious. And 4:54 left to go in the 3rd. 1st and 10 for the Titans on the turnover on downs, and leading 36-8. And this 3rd quarter has been going quite quickly compared to the first 2. So they'll spot this one at the 27-yard line.
And we'll see if Tolgate keeps their foot on the gas pedal. I would be surprised if they didn't, in honesty.
Pasquina under center, Abadiello in the backfield. He has Mead with him, Khalees in motion. Snap handed off here to Devon Mead. Mead is going to power through. He's going to pick up about 4 on the play. Takes him to the 31-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and 6 to go. And if you're the Titans, knowing you also have a 40-second play clock to work with, here are no play clocks on the edge of the field, so you have to run it all in your head. You start to think about how do you use all that time to your advantage, too, and just tick the time off the clock, especially if you're running balls on the field that are getting you 4 or 5 yards every pickup.
Absolutely, and they could just keep running this ball. It seems like they trust themselves to pick up 1st downs, as we see another great run, picking up a great 1st down.
As Dominic Khalees, the motion man there, picks up about 10 on the play. It's going to be a 1st and 10 from the 47, as they will spot the ball and then spot the chains, and we'll start the clock as they tick to 3:45 left to go here in the 3rd. And a fresh set of downs for the Titans. On the verge of the running clock rule here. One more touchdown would put them over the 35-point threshold. Here's a pass in the flat. Caught by DeCorpo. DeCorpo is going to turn something into a lot as he gets a run there for about 5 on the yards after catch and makes it second down and a very manageable 4 where they pick up a 6 on the play.
As Tollgate has really been coming near side to where we are a lot, and this time just exposing the outside and realizing that there has been a lot of open space over there and just utilizing it and making the most out of it, taking advantage of it.
Pasquina goes under center this time. Abadiello and Mead in the backfield. Khalees in motion. Handoff to Mead, who bumbles his way through. Picks up about 3 on the play. And again, a 3rd down and 2. Or 3rd down and 2 for the Titans. Manageable once again. So the Titans on program here with what they want to do offensively in this 3rd quarter.
And you asked the question of which Tollgate team are we going to see? Are we going to see the team that had came to play or the team that, you know, has struggled and really hadn't seemed as focused before in the season? So, you know, we really have seen maybe the best Tollgate, and I'm sure they were very, very frustrated after last week's loss and knew that on senior night you got to come out here and avenge that, and they absolutely have. And this is a big momentum game for them moving forward.
Tollgate got shut out by the punt against the Chieftains here last week as Mead goes up the center, picks up 5 on the play to the 40-yard line, a 1st and 10 for the Titans. As they stop the clock while they'll reset the chains. And we apologize, we're going to adjust our clock here. And now back in sync with the play clock. 1:20 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. And a fresh set of downs at the 40-yard line in Patriots territory. Khalees goes in motion. Abadiello out of the backfield. Abadiello, the freight train, picks up about 8 on the play. And it's going to set a 2nd and a long 2.
They just keep moving down and moving more, especially keeping this clock running, which is now just about at 40 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. So a very, once again, manageable 2nd down as, you know, they really haven't had to go through the air much. They've probably had only about 10 pass attempts in today's game. So doing a majority of everything through the ground game, it has been just wearing on this Davies defense and front line.
They're going to mark this 2nd and 3. They're going to have to get, and there's a flag for a delay of game. And I can't believe that that was the 40 seconds. There may have had to have been the play clock had to be reset. Yeah, I was going to say that did not seem like 40 seconds to me.
A fairly quick 40 seconds, maybe about 30. But
Pasquina takes a snap here. Abadiello through the backfield. First down. Roman Abadiello to the 10-yard line. And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Titans.
And there's really nothing much else to say about this Tollgate team, who has just been absolutely unbelievable from start to finish today, really taking advantage of every hole in the defense, every hole on the offensive line. I mean, they have just been hitting every gap strong. They've been hitting the edges quickly, and they have just been playing absolutely tremendous today.
8.4 seconds left to go as the clock begins to run here after the place of the ball. It's going to take us 2-0. The end of the 3rd quarter comes with the Titans leading 36-8. The ball on the 10-yard line and knocking on the door of the clock run rule. And if you don't know what we're talking about, if you may be new to watching high school football, there is a 35-point rule, which once a team has a lead of 35 points and or more, it starts an auto run rule on the clock, which will just continue to have the clock run. It will only stop for timeouts, injuries, and or scores. So the Tollgate Titans, with the ball on the 10-yard line, knocking on the door of being able to really just shepherd this game out in 12 minutes.
Yeah, and that's a great point there. You know, sometimes you forget about that rule. You don't really see it too often. I know you had it happen with the
Cranston
West game in
East Greenwich,
East Greenwich about maybe last week or 2 weeks ago. So it is you know, it's something we kind of forget about. So, you know, thank you for bringing it up. I totally forgot about it until you mentioned it. So
we do also want to thank Lynch Law, Elmwood Sports Center, Paul J. Burns, attorney at law, our local partners and sponsors, without whom today's Tollgate Titans, Davies Tech Patriots broadcast would not be possible. We thank them for their support and patronage of Rhode Island high school football and fans-only sports network. Our debut broadcast, all fitting to be in Cranston, Rhode Island, our home base.
And, you know, we got the luxury of doing it today, so groundbreaking stuff, you know what I mean?
Matt Gillis alongside Bryce Antok, Tyler Ferreira, our cameraman, Ron Robert, producer, on this beautiful Saturday afternoon, blue skies, few wispy clouds, a nice toasty as a Buddy Yellow punches it for a Titans touchdown. And we now are at 42-8, and now with the extra point coming, Latara Merlino will take the 1, and we will get the clock run rule.
Unless you just jinxed it and he misses it.
No Cody Parkey double doinks allowed up here.
It's all fun and games. I'm just messing with you, Matt.
Merlino has put 2 straight down the pike today. Snap pass, Screener bumbles it. Penalty on the play. Instead, it's going to go a 2-point conversion to number 10, Jaron Soto. When it goes right, it just goes right.
If that doesn't just sum up how Tollgate
False
has been.
Start on the Titans. They'll redo the try.
Although I will say, the fact that they still scored a 2-point conversion on that, I know it's been called back. It really does sum up on a bad snap and everything, or a bad hold. The fact that they still come away with points, but hey, we know he's got the leg, so let's see if he can put it through.
So now Merlino will get one more try. This one's going to get blocked.
I don't want to say I told you so, but I feel like I told you so. You had to say something. I'm just messing with you, Matt.
You're having fun poking at me because
oh yeah, I'm having fun with the whole crew today.
You know the fact that though that we do have the running clock, we are at that 35-point rule. You're poking fun at the fact that you know I've got to still call one more game today.
You do. You're going to Connecticut after this, so.
Pulling the double duty today. Connecticut Independent Football League action coming up at 4 o'clock this afternoon between the Southern New London County Mutiny and Amity Independent FC. CIFL action, a co-op program started by the high schools in the state of Connecticut after the CIAA canceled the season in the fall. They were going to try to reinstate it in the spring, and then they canceled the season in the spring. So no CIAA football in Connecticut, and instead we have gotten out of it the CIFL. and they are in week 2 of their season, and we're headed to Groton, Connecticut for the game between the Mutiny and Amity IFC. Merlino sends one that will be picked up here in the backfield, running into his own man, and then finally taken down at the 35 is number 23, Joe Brooks IV. As the clock continues to tick down, the running clock rule in effect here. Clock will only stop for timeouts and or scores as Zach DeCorpo hobbles off the field for the Titans, and with a 42-8 lead and the running clock, it's likely to say that DeCorpo will probably just take a day. A little bit of a, looks like a cramp in his hamstring. Devon Mead, along with number 59, Michael Ferreira, taking a seat on the bench there. Grayson Pasquina even sitting on top of the Gatorade water cooler. They pick up 3 on the play to the Patriots. Going to set up 2nd and 7. Cabral, split backfield. And on to Patno. Patno is going to get bottled up, taken down at the 40-yard line. Be 3rd down and 5. Merlino and Volmer on the stop there.
Tolgate looking like they really just want to finish the scheme off strong. They don't want to let anything up. They want to make sure this clock keeps running, it seems like, and play as sound as possible, and want to keep this score looking as good as they possibly can, because 42-8 is a very impressive score line for you to come out, especially on senior day or senior night, as we want to say.
Snap here, a little flick play. Stumbling down was Patno. He's going to pick up a 1st down here to the 45-yard line. So a 1st and 10 for the Patriots.
As Patno, he did a good job on that, making sure that his knee didn't hit down when he stumbled at first. Some good balance that shows in order to keep up and put a hand on the ground and not fall over to pick up the 1st down.
As we've gone under 7 minutes to go, we apologize, a little bit of difference between our clock and the actual game clock. It is 6:45 on the actual game clock, ticking down. 42-8 Titans all over the Patriots since the opening kickoff. In the first drive, they went straight down the field for a touchdown. The Patriots responded with a touchdown, a 2-point conversion. And here goes Cabral throwing one deep, and it's caught down at the 22-yard line.
And an excellent throw that time by Cabral. I mean, he just did a great job to make that one. It was a little bit underthrown, but nonetheless, he still got it there and it did what he had to.
Damola Umarudin, the deep man for Davies Tech, getting the pick. So 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. As the clock continues to run all in the favor of the Titans here. Cabral tries to roll again. This one's going to go over the outstretched hands of Zion Hungween. Sorry, it might have been Patno there, was the initial intended receiver.
It was some good coverage on the far side just to make sure that they had the corner out covered and make sure that they didn't allow another touchdown for Davies in this game. But Davies are still fighting. They don't want it. They're not going to go away as long as they're here and as long as there's time left. They're going to do what they can to try and put one in the end zone. Last possession, they were just a little bit short, and this time they're right back to where they wanted to be.
2nd and 10. Low snap there, picked by Cabral. Dumped down to the backfield, fumbled ball. Carry by Anthony Silva. If this is a Titans ball, and that's it. Without question, ball game in the win column for the Titans.
And I think we've mentioned it about 4 or 5 times now that we've seen some lackluster ball carrying to where they're really not securing it too much. And this is just another example. And it was sooner or later before a fumble was lost in this game. And unfortunately, it came at an inopportune time for Davies. I mean, still being down so much, but, trying to put something else on the board in order to make it look a little more presentable and moving forward into something next week, a little bit more positivity. But nonetheless, a great job by Choge to really close this thing out on a high note and with an exclamation point.
A timeout called by Davies with 3:53 left to go. It's going to give us a moment to adjust our clock. And there's not too many times when I question timeouts getting called, but I'm trying to figure out the strategy point with a 42-8 deficit to calling a timeout.
Possibly maybe get a couple players in, give some guys a little extra time on the field. You never know what some of these coaches are thinking. Maybe they just want to get as many people in who may not see some more time much at all this year. Especially even a couple seniors that may not have as many minutes as they would like.
And they're going to allow Tolge in that said situation to make a switch. Jacob Van is going to come in at quarterback. So Grayson Pasquina exits the game and therefore exits his Tolge home field career. The senior quarterback, a Providence Journal All-State selection, one of the 2021 players to watch, concludes his home season. As a ball comes out, it's going to get recovered back at the 5-yard line by the Titans. By the Patriots. A complete misstep on the snap. Fumbles the ball all the way back to the 5, 1st and goal Patriots.
I don't even know how to respond to that. Go ahead, Matt.
In my 20 years of broadcasting, and I'm not one who's lost for words too often, I'm lost for words on that play.
Completely agree.
You had one job.
Just a complete 180 from seems like 30 seconds before. Now he really may be questioning that timeout he called.
The Davies Tech defense brought the house in here as a run for a touchdown. So the clock stops on the score with 2.5 left to go. And the Davies Tech Patriots have now made it 42-14. And they will set, in all likelihoods, for the 2-point conversion here.
And there's what you wanted for some momentum that we talked about so many times for Davies. There you go. You got it back. You forced a turnover. We've been waiting all day, and I believe that's their first stop defensively, if I'm not mistaken.
That is their first stop defensively on the day, and the sophomore quarterback Jacob Van, a miscommunication there on the snap. The fumble gave it to the Patriots on the 5-yard line. The fumble here on the 2-point conversion try, no good. An incomplete pass. Patino drops it. And with 2:30 left to go, it is Tollgate 42 and Davies Tech 14. Once again, a thank you to Lynch Law, Elmwood Sports Center, Paul J. Ferns, attorney at law, our local sponsors and partners, without whom today's broadcast of Rhode Island High School football on Fans Only Sports Network would not be possible. And we thank all of our sponsors who have been patrons throughout the course of the year, from back to soccer and field hockey season in the fall to the abrupt ice hockey season that we had through January, February, March, into what has been an exciting, action-packed spring football season, along with the girls' volleyball season that's been in action. Will be at Scituate High School on Monday for a girls' volleyball game between the Scituate Spartans and Tiverton.
Speaking of, I'll tell you, I cannot wait for my soccer season to start back up in the fall.
It's been an interesting year seeing some sports playing at certain times, some not, conferences, divisions, this, that, making decisions where to go, both at the high school level, even at the college level. A lot of the Power 5, Power 6 conferences playing their soccer seasons now for the NCAA championship, which didn't happen. And this one is kicked high and reaches the deep man there of Lopez. Lopez is going to barrel through a few lines of Patriots players, still continuing, and will take it down to the 37-yard line, and a flag thrown after the play. So usually an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty in that situation. They're going to add yardage, I think, to this. I take that back. Oh, it's going to be unsportsmanlike both ways, and so therefore it's just going to be offsetting penalties. And we're going to start 1st and 10 from the 36, 37-yard line.
And we know
and
how
timeout called by Davies Tech, and maybe potentially right before there were too many men on the field.
we know how dominant this Tollgate rushing attack has been, and with only 2 minutes and change left, I mean, I think we both expect them to just try and run out the clock as much as possible. Since they haven't been stopped much at all today, except for that one fumble on their last possession.
I'm going to give a shout out to the Khaleesi family. Sophomore running back Dominic Khaleesi's family, grandparents down in Florida, have tuned into every Tollgate Titans broadcast that we've had this season. And we always appreciate patronage of the players' parents and family all across the country. Dominic Khaleesi, certainly one of the key players on the Titans offense. We've called his name so many times over the 3 games that we've done as rolling out here on the outside was Aguilar. As the clock continues to tick inside of the 2-minute mark now. And Jacob Van continues under center for this Titans offense, having taken over from the senior captain Grayson Pasquina. And for all of the 10 seniors on the Titans football team, the 7 seniors on the cheerleading squad, what a day.
Absolutely, and no other better way to celebrate than with this result that you've gotten today.
As wrapped up in the backfield here and then taken down at the line of scrimmage is going to be big man Thomas Bellinger. Going to pick up one on the play. Gets it to the original line of scrimmage. We're inside the final minute to go. We'll be back in action next Friday. The rivalry match. Cranston East Thunderbolts and the Cranston West Falcons from the beautiful new stadium at Cranston West High School. Game time slated for 7 p.m. right here on Fans Only Sports Network as we are inside of the final 30 seconds to go, and that will do it here as the Titans will not even have to get another playoff. They'll be able to take this to the zeros and call it a night. So with 4th and 5 and 3, 2, and 1, the Titans are back in the win column on senior day from Cranston Stadium. Tollgate 42, Davies Tech 14. For Tyler Ferrer, cameraman Ron Robert, producer Bryce Antok, my color man, I'm Matthew Jolis. Thank you so much for tuning into this debut broadcast on Fans Only Sports Network. We'll see you next week. Good night.